Hi all. So we are going to discuss this investment banking project. So I will explain like what all things we are going inside this project and what all steps we will follow. Here in investment banking project, we will be more focused on customer onboarding process, or you can say customer module process. So here we will develop API related to customer like registration API, logging API, forgot credential API, reset credential API, then send OTP, send verification mail. So all those kind of API we are going to discuss here and we are going to develop here. We will follow all the project development life cycle what we follow in organization. Same way we will develop everything and we will be more focused on agile methodology. So to understand that agile methodology, go through Jira. We will go through Jira also, like we will create Jira story and all. And based on that Jira story, we are going to develop all the API. Okay. So let me go through course contents. So here we will start from requirement gathering. So first we'll understand this complete requirement, and based on that we'll see how to create functional design document and technical design document. So first, you will see here, I have already created functional design document. So I will explain all these functional design document. For each API, I have created functional design document. So here in this document, you will get complete detail of that particular API, like what will be resource name, what will be request structure of that API, what will be response structure of that API, then what all business logic we need to implement here. So all those things you will get here, and you can see like whatever API we have, for each API we have one functional design document. So once we will go through development, same time we will develop technical design document. So whatever API I will develop as a training part, like that, for those API I will develop technical design document for, but for remaining API, like whatever you will get as a assignment, you need to do technical design document. Okay. So in requirement gathering, like first we will understand requirement and we'll go through this functional design document. Parallelly we will create technical design document, and once we will complete all this documentation part, we will create Jira story. So before that we will understand like what is agile methodology, and what is sprint, what is scrum master. So all those kind of discussion we'll do, and then we will create Jira story. Okay, so I am going to teach like how to create Jira story and all, and how to manage Jira story. So as I discussed, like we will discuss about project life cycle, and then we will discuss agile methodology, and then we will do Jira setup. So I will help you to create Jira account, and then I will explain like how to create project in Jira, how to create sprint in Jira, and then how we can create story, how we can create task, how we can create bug. So all those kind of discussion we are going to do. And once we will create this task, once you will get assigned that particular task, then how you will manage that Jira story, like how you will comment, how you will define how many points should be there for that particular Jira story, and how you will put hours and all for tracking purpose. So all those kind of discussion we are going to do. Then next we will discuss about Confluence. We will do Confluence setup. So Confluence is like a central repository where we can do our documentation work. At this time you can see all the document I have in my local, but we'll try to capture all this document in Confluence. So we'll do detailed discussion during this training. Okay. Then as a center repository, we are going to use Git. Okay. So first we will do Git setup. We will create Git account. We will see how we can create organization in Git, how we can create repository in Git, and then we'll see how we can perform different kind of activity like code uh, code checking, code checkout, how we will sync, like how we will clone that repository from central repository to local repository. Then we are going to learn this Git desktop software also. So all those kind of discussion we will do inside Git setup and management. As a CI/CD pipeline, we are going to use Jenkins script. So we'll write some Jenkins script to automate our deployment process. So for continuous integration, continuous deployment, we are going to do Jenkins setup. Okay. Next, once we will done with all this setup, once we will done with all the sprint planning and all, then we'll go for YAML development. Okay, so whatever document we have created, so here you will open this functional design document and you will get all the detail of that API. Based on that detail, you need to create YAML. So for few API, I am going to teach you how to create YAML by following this functional design document, and then in assignment you will work on multiple API. Then you will get more hands-on experience. So here, for few YAML, I will create from very scratch, and then we'll follow all the best practice. Like we will create fragment, we will create traits, we will create data types. So all those best practice we are going to follow in this particular project. Okay. So once we will create this YAML, we will follow all the best practice. We will deploy that YAML on. We will publish that YAML on Exchange. So after that, I will explain like how BA people will go there, like how you need to give access to BA people, and they will validate your YAML. Okay. Once they will validate your YAML, then you will go for API development. So here we are going to follow complete API development lifecycle from very scratch, like from creation of YAML. Okay, so let me explain first API development lifecycle, then next part will be more easy to understand. Okay, let me quickly open. So in API development lifecycle, you can see here we have design phase. So just now we discussed this design phase. So here in design phase, we create YAML based on our functional design document. Similar means we are publishing our YAML on Exchange. Okay. Once we will complete your YAML, we need to publish on Exchange, and then BA people will take feedback, like we'll go through that YAML and will give feedback. If that feedback, like we will validate here, if that feedback is positive, then we will go for next page of API development lifecycle. If that feedback is not negative, then we will go for design phase again. So in build phase, we will develop our API. So here, like whatever we are doing, we are creating YAML. So YAML is not actual implementation of our API. YAML is just a skeleton, or you can say documentation of our API. So it tells behavior of our API. So how our API will behave, what will be resource name, what will be request structure, what will be response structure, what will be underlying data type of request and response. So that's that kind of information YAML will give. But actual implementation we will do in Anypoint Studio, and we will apply all the business logic with the help of multiple Mulesoft components. Okay, so next, once we will complete this development part, okay, then we will test our code. So in testing, we are going to follow different kind of testing. Like first we will follow unit testing, then integration testing, then performance testing, and we will follow unit testing also. So 4 kind of testing you are going to see in this particular project. Okay, so once we will complete all this step, then we will go for security part. So we will apply different kind of policy, different kind of security. For example, we are going to use JWT token, basic authentication, and client ID enforcement. So these 3 policy we are going to apply as a security. Apart of that, we are going to work on rate limiting, spike control, and HTTP caching also. So rate limiting policy we will use to limit number of requests. Spike control also do same thing, but it has some added advantage, like once you will exceed that limit, it will like next request will go in queue. Okay, and then HTTP caching, we will use this particular policy for caching our data. So whenever request will come, so instead of calling API every time, so we can get data from caching itself. But you need to be careful here, like if you are getting somehow static response from your API, then only you should use this HTTP caching. Okay, so in security and policy part, we will discuss different policy, security policy and other policy also. Then once we will apply all the policy on API manager, then we will go for deployment. So deployment we will do on runtime manager. So here we are going to follow cloud of deployment model. So we will deploy on runtime manager. So once you will apply policy, once you will deploy your code, then you need to monitor your code, you need to troubleshoot. If there is any issue, then you need to identify issue, you need to fix that issue, and you need to manage your API. So here we are going to follow all this complete life cycle of API, starting from design, implementation, and management. Okay. So here you will able to see next, like as I mentioned, we will develop API and we'll follow all the best practice. So I will explain here like what simply if we will develop our API, it will be very difficult for other people to understand our API. So I will give you some idea like in project how we manage our API. So it will be very easy for other person to understand whatever code you develop. So there may be like in you are working in a project and there are multiple team members in that project. If everyone follow their own standards and everyone do coding in their own standard, then sometime it may happen like you need to do some bug fix on someone else code, like that is developed by someone else and you are doing bug fix. Then for you, if you will not follow proper standard, if you will not follow proper best practice, then what will happen? It will be very difficult for you to understand someone else code. At the same place, it will be very difficult for someone else to understand what code you develop. So here we are going to discuss what all best practice we should follow. So it will be very easy for someone to understand our code. Okay, if someone want to review, then they can easily review our code. Okay. Then after development, we will do testing. So testing, as I mentioned, we will do local testing, means unit testing, integration testing, and unit testing, and performance testing. So all this kind of testing we are going to do here. For performance testing, we are going to use JMeter. Okay, so I will teach you like how to configure JMeter and how to do performance testing with the help of JMeter. Then next, with the help of Jenkins, we are going to create CI/CD pipeline. So we'll see once we will develop our code, once we will do code checking, then how CI/CD Jenkins script will take code from our repository and will deploy that code on server. Okay, so all those things we are going to see inside CI/CD. Next to CI/CD, like we will discuss about different deployment model like on-premise, Cloud Hub, RTF, and hybrid deployment model. So we'll discuss theoretically all the deployment model, but here in this particular project, we are going to use Cloud Hub deployment model where like we will deploy our code and all. So as a trial account, we will get 1 month of license. So we'll use that 1 month license and we'll do all the deployment and all. Now next, we will here like on server side, we can create multiple environment. Generally, if you work for any client, you should have this many of environment: dev, SIT, UAT, pre-prod, and prod. Okay, so I will explain like what all use we have for different environment. For example, like dev environment. So as a developer, whenever we develop any code, first we used to commit on dev environment. First we used to deploy on dev environment and we do our unit testing or integration testing. Once we complete our testing, then we deploy that on SIT environment, and that environment generally used by testing team. So they will test code there on SIT environment. If there will be any bug, then they will create bug ticket on our Jira platform. Okay, and you need to manage that bug ticket and you need to resolve that issue. So all details related to that particular bug, they will put on Jira story, bug story. Okay, and then once SIT testing will be done, then your code will be moved to UAT environment. Okay, so generally in UAT environment, user like BA people will do testing, whatever requirement they have given to you. So they will validate like your API fulfilling that requirement or not. Then once it will be done, then we deploy that code on pre-prod environment for different kind of testing, like load testing, sanity testing, all those kind of testing we do there. And then once everything done, then we are ready to move our code on production. Then we'll deploy our code on production. Okay, here like we have like only one vcode as a license, like as a trial license. So we are going to maintain only two environment, dev and prod. Okay, since we don't have enough vcode to deploy our all the application, so we will create only two environment, dev and production. Okay, so once we will complete this all the deployment stage and all, then like we will see how we can promote our environment. For example, as a like at the starting we will do everything on dev environment, and then I will explain if you want to promote from dev to sit or dev to uat or dev to production, then how with the help of this environment promotion option easily you can promote your environment from lower to higher environment or from one environment to another environment. So that kind of discussion we will do in this particular part. Applying policy and security we already discussed. We are going to cover like multiple policy, and we will see a demo of each policy. Then how to explain project in interview or how to demo this project, so that kind of discussion we will do. So this is all about our course content. Okay, so next move to like what all important component connector we are going to use. So as a source and target system, we are going to use Salesforce, database, VM or JMS, then HTTP, object store, custom connector for logger, and socket. So these many of connector we are going to use in our project. Okay. So apart of that, we are going to work on different connector like HTTP cache. Sorry, we are going to use multiple component like scatter gather, batch processing, parallel for each, caching, choice router, error handling for each. So these are all our important components we are going to use. A part of that we will definitely use multiple other components also. On policy side, we are going to work on client ID enforcement, rate limiting, spike control, HTTP caching, basic authentication, and JWT token. So this money policy we are going to cover in this particular project. Now we'll go through project objective of this exercise. So here we are going to simulate real world scenario. So where a solution architect document will be handed down to the development team. So solution architect generally like there will be some senior person in your team. So they will gather all the requirement from client, or maybe you can say BA people. So based on requirement, they will create some high level document. It can be functional design document also, where they will put all the solution like flow, sequence diagram, then details related to API. Okay, then business logic, everything they will note down there, and they will pass that detail to development team. So generally like if we are following this agile approach, then they will create different multiple sprints, and each sprint they will put some story. Okay, so that story like one of the story will be that particular requirement what they will create. Okay, then make use of Mulesoft out of box capability. So here in Mulesoft, like we have multiple components. So with the help of that Mulesoft component, we will complete or we will achieve that business logic, and we will develop our API. So if you want to see like what all out of box capability Mulesoft has, then this is our Anypoint Studio software. Here we do our code development. So let me open. So here you can see like we have multiple Mulesoft component. Let me go to core component. So these all are Mulesoft out of box components are there. We can use this component to achieve our business logic. For example, we have async scope, we have cache, we have flow, we have parallel for each, we have for each subflow, then we have scatter gather. So we have multiple Mulesoft component. So for error handling we have 4 components. Okay, so all these things or components we are going to use to achieve our business logic or to complete our API development. Okay. Next, include previous best practice experience when coming out with this solution. So like whatever like experience you have from the previous project, you will use that experience. For example, like let me take one small example. You want to call some external system. Okay, you want to call two external system A and external system B. Let me create diagram for you. So here, this is your API. And here, this is your API call. So you want to call to external API. Okay. So let's say this is your first external API, A, or let's say we have three external API, A, B, and we have one more, C. Now this particular API call takes 5 seconds. This particular API call take 7 seconds. This particular API call take 6 seconds. Okay. Now if we want, we can call this API one by one. Okay. So let's say from here we are doing this API call and we are getting response back. Okay. Once this will be executed, it will send response back. Then we are calling second API. So once this API will complete its execution, it will response back. And then we will call this API. Okay, so after that we will call this API, we will get response back, and then finally we will send response back to calling system. Okay, so here we are getting request. Once all the processing will done, we will send response back. Okay, now if you see here, what is our overall processing time? So 5 seconds plus 6 seconds plus 7 seconds, it's around 18 seconds. So to complete this API execution, it's taking 18 seconds. Now here what we did, we blindly followed sequential call. But in Mulesoft we have one component scatter gather. So with the help of this scatter gather component, you can do parallel processing. Now if this API call, this external system API call and this external system API call are independent of each other. Independent means whatever response request we are sending to this API and whatever response we are getting from this API is completely independent from this API. If response of this API will be used by request of this API, means these two API call are dependent. Until unless we will not get response from here, we will not able to call this API. But if response of this API is not used by request of this API, means these two API are independent of each other. So instead of doing this sequential call, in that case what we can do, we can do parallel call. Okay, for this API also, for API C also, if that API call are independent, then we can do parallel call. Okay, so now how much time it will take? This processing will take parallelly. Now this all three processing will happen inside scatter gather. Okay, so we will have scatter gather on top of this. So these three are branch inside our parallel for each. Okay, not parallel for each, scatter gather. Okay, so these three are branch inside our scatter gather. Now these three branch will execute it parallelly. Okay, so this will take 5 seconds, this will take 7 seconds, and this will take 6 seconds. So overall it will take maximum of these three. So who is taking maximum time? This one, second. Since this one is completed in 5 seconds, this one is completed in 6 seconds, and this one is taking 7 seconds. So when this entire processing will completed, who is taking maximum time? This 7 seconds. So in 7 seconds all three branch will be completed. So previously it was taking 18 seconds, now it's taking 7 seconds. So here whatever best experience you have from your previous project and whatever experience you have on MuleSoft, based on that you need to select which component you should use to make your API more efficient. Okay, in first case also, if we will do sequential code, then that doesn't means our API will give incorrect response. In that case also our API will give correct response only, but overall processing time will be 18 seconds. But if we are using this we are using scatter gather component, then our processing time will reduce. Same way, in MuleSoft we have two component to iterate or to do same kind of activity again and again, for each and parallel for each. Again, if we have some sequence to iterate, then we should use for each activity. Okay, so in for each activity, whatever scope you will define, whatever mule component you will define inside this for each scope, so that scope or whatever component you have inside that scope will iterate on each record of this parallel for each. So parallel for each will get input as a array. So array will contain multiple element. So for each element it will iterate whatever component we will define inside parallel for each, but that will iterate sequentially one by one. So if sequence is matter, then we must need to go through for each MuleSoft scope. But if sequence doesn't matter, then in that case what we can do, we can use parallel for each. Okay, so we can use this component. So what it will do, so in parallel for each component, you can see here we have maximum concurrency. So whatever number of maximum concurrency you will define here, that many of thread will be created, and parallelly it will serve that many of record within our array. Okay, for example, our request payload contain 100 element, and if we will define max concurrency equals to 10, then in 10 iteration only it will complete the execution. But if we will use for each component, then it will take like whatever your array size. If it will contain 100, then always it will take 100 iteration to complete the processing of all those record. But if you are using parallel for each, then batch maximum concurrency will define that. Okay, so if maximum concurrency is 10, then 100 divided by 10. So only we need 10 iteration to complete this entire processing. Okay, so here you need to identify which MuleSoft component you should use to make your API more efficient. Same way, like we have this async scope. For example, you have some component or mule processor inside your business that is taking too much time, but that is not contributing in final response. So what you can do in that case, you can put all those MuleSoft component inside async scope, and then that async scope will run in separate thread. So in that case, your API performance will be again better, and whoever calling your API, they will get response faster. Okay. Next. Make use of design center to create RAML. So here, like we will see like how to create account in any point platform. So here you can see like we can create trial account on any point platform. And here you will get multiple parts like design center, exchange. So we will create RAML inside this design center. Once we will complete development of our RAML, then we will publish that RAML on exchange. Okay, so same thing we have mentioned here, like make use of design center to create RAML. Okay, and next, once everything will be done, then we will move to API development. Okay, so once we will complete our API development, we will go for unit testing, we will go for unit testing, we will go for performance testing. So all those kind of testing we will do. Then we will demo our working example. Okay, so once you will complete once I will complete all the development, once you will learn this project, then I will give assignment, and once you will complete your assignment, then you have to demo your project. Okay, okay, so here you can see business scenario. So in this investment banking customer onboarding process will allow customer to create account, to check and update the member detail, member login, reset credential. So first customer will go to company portal, and using sign up option, they will create account by providing basic details. Once customer completes successful member registration, they will log in. Okay, before logging, they need to verify their account. So for that also there will be API. And then customer will do login. Customer can change, reset username password. Customer can create username and password. Okay, during customer logging, they will receive OTP on their mobile number, and this need which is needed as part of logging process. So here during logging, we will call send OTP API to send OTP on customer email or mobile number. Once they will receive that OTP, they will insert that OTP, and then once they will submit, then it will call verify OTP API. And once that API will send success response, then only user will redirect in their profile page. Okay, so this is all about our business scenario, what kind of API we are going to develop. Here in flow diagram, you can see how many API we have. So customer will start their onboarding process, customer will do registration, so it will call our registration API. So here we can see we have only one API, but in actual it's divided into 3 layers. So here we are going to follow API led architecture. So we will have 3 layers here: experience layer, process layer, and system layer. That details you will get just after this particular part. So in API landscape diagram, I will explain that one. Okay, and this API will connect with Salesforce system as a target system. So here source system will be front end and target system will be Salesforce. Same way, we have multiple API for different business users. Reset credential API. So this API will use to reset user credential. Send OTP API. So this API will be used to send OTP on mobile number. Same way we have send email OTP API. So this API will be used whenever we want to send OTP on email ID. For every layer, like for every API, you can see here, there will be 3 layers as per API led architecture. Okay, so there will be process, system, and experience layer. Here, like few places you will see, like multiple places we have source system as a front end and target system we have Salesforce, third party API, then database. But few places you will see source system is Salesforce itself. So this API, for this API, source system is Salesforce and target is database. So same way, like we will have multiple API where source system will be different system. It can be Salesforce, it can be any third party API, or it can be any other Mule API also. So here you can see in send OTP API. Okay, so this is called by Mulesoft API only. Okay, so there will be multiple classes, like source system will be either front end, Salesforce, database, or maybe some other system. Same way, target system may also have Salesforce, third party API, database, JMS queue. Okay, now next we'll discuss about this landscape diagram. So here you can see, like we are going to develop almost 10 application. So this one is our experience layer. So in experience layer we will develop 4 application, and each application will contain multiple resources and API. Okay, so here we will have all the API related to customer. And for mobile application, here we will have all the API related to customer for web application. Okay, same way here we will have multiple common API like reset, this send OTP, then send email. So those kind of API we will develop inside common XP API application. Now this API will call our process layer API. So in process layer you can see we have customer process layer API, common process layer API, and we have scheduler process API. Okay, since this scheduler process will not be called by any external system or any source system, so we don't need any experience layer here. So this particular API will start from process layer itself, and this particular API will be triggered by scheduler. Okay, so whatever frequency we will define or whatever cron job expression we will define, based on that this API will be initiated and it will do required processing. So this API will call related system API. Same way this common API will use different system API, and this system API consuming this different target system like Salesforce, third party API, third party SMS API, database, VMQ, SMTP server, and third party JWT token provider. Okay, so these are all our target system. Source system will be like front end app, Salesforce, database. These all will be as a source system also. So this is all about this API led architecture and our API landscape diagram. What all application we will have, what all API we will have. Next, here we have all the list of API. So here we have almost 45 to 50 API. Okay, so during training of 1 month, so I will explain few API. So from very scratch, like I will cover all the system layer, process layer, and experience layer. I will explain everything from very scratch. As we discuss on the course content, I will cover all these things for few set of API. And once you will get enough confidence to develop API by yourself, then I will provide required document and you will develop other API as an assignment. So here you can see I have already created document for multiple APIs. So you need to work on this API. So document you will get from here. Few API I will develop you will follow me, you will understand entire process. Okay, so once I will complete like all the three layer of 3-4 API, then you will get, definitely you will get enough confidence to develop API by yourself, and that you will develop in your assignment. Okay, during assignment also, like I will take doubt session and all, so whenever you will have any issue you can ask me. So here you can see like we have almost 10 application and we have almost 40 to 50 API. That number of the list of API may increase, not more, like 5-10 API may increase. Okay, here we have discussion about all the external system like Salesforce, database, object store. So like Salesforce is a CRM system we use to manage our customer related data. So here also you can see like Salesforce we are using to store customer registration detail, to do login process, verify OTP process. So all those, for all those purpose we will use this Salesforce system. Okay, so this is CRM system and we store customer related information here. Database, here we are going to use database for different purpose, like we will store all the data as a secondary storage and we'll use that data for analytics purpose also. Object store is similar to database but it's a temporary storage. Okay, so we are going to use object store also, and for as a temporary storage and for storing cache data also. Then we have multiple external APIs like SMS third party API, email third party API, and front end, as I mentioned, like front end will be source system for our most of the API. For few API, source system will vary, like it will be Salesforce, database, or any third party API. But for most of the API, source will be front end system. Okay, so this is all about like what all things we are going to cover and what will be structure of our this investment banking project. And definitely like you will get 100% real-time experience. I will follow all these steps what we follow in organization from very scratch, like from requirement gathering to deployment. Okay, so we'll follow all these steps like in detail. Okay, and I will develop lots of API, so definitely you will get enough confidence. It will not be I will develop only one API and then I will give as an assignment. I will develop few set of API. Once you will get enough confidence, then I will give other API as an assignment, and I will try to divide students in group also, and we will have doubt session. Whenever you will face any challenge, then you can ask me. And definitely once you will do practice by yourself, once you will start working on few assignment, then definitely you will get lots of confidence. Not only like you will be ready for interview, you will learn Mulesoft also. Okay, you will learn new things, how to troubleshoot problem and all. Definitely once you will develop API, you will get some problem and you will see how to troubleshoot problem and how to identify problem. So during development only I will show you like how we can start our deployment in debug mode, and then you will get more detail of your component level. Okay, so as like I mentioned, like start date of this project will be 20th of November. So this timing will be Saturday Sunday 7:30 to 10:30 IST time. So we will have our training during this particular time, and twice in a week we will have doubt session. So whenever you will have any query, so whatever API I will develop, so same API you will also develop in your system by following my YouTube, by following my video. Okay, so like in live session you will follow all the steps what I am doing, but during practice also you will get recorded video, so you can follow that video and you can do all these steps in your system. So in live session you will definitely get multiple advantage, like you can ask whatever doubts you will have. So whenever I will do development, if you will have any query, you can ask at that time. Okay, so for registration actually you need to connect me on this number, so you can ping me on WhatsApp. Okay, don't try to do me phone call, so you will, this number will not be reachable on phone call. Just ping me on WhatsApp, or you can do WhatsApp call for registration. So here as I mentioned, like almost 10 API I will develop, and almost like this will be almost 30 to 40 API you will develop. Okay, and fee will be almost 14,000 and duration will be 1 month. So during 1 month I will explain few set of API. Few set of API means all the three layer: system layer, process layer, and experience layer. Once you will get enough confidence, then remaining API I will give as a assignment. Okay, then training, almost like we are going to take almost 8 to 10 session. It should be 10 session, and daily we will have like weekend session we will have for training. So 3 hour each we will have training session, and doubt session we will have almost, and this one will be during training, and after training you will get almost 15 doubt session. Okay, so in this doubt session you will do practice with me. So whenever you will learn anything in live session, same time you will do practice in your system. You will have any doubt, you will ask in this particular doubt session, and once like our 1 month or 5 weeks will be completed, then you will get assignment. You will work on that assignment. Whenever you will have doubt, you will connect on that particular doubt session and you can ask doubt. Okay, so this entire training program will is organized by developer guide team. So we in our team we have multiple members. So as a trainer I will be there, but other trainer will be there as a during this doubt session and all. Okay, and they will help you in multiple way. Okay, so here I will provide link. I will share this document again, and I will provide this latest YouTube link for demo. And then here you will get a link for our other project, what we have loyalty module and other project. You will get link of those project also if you want to see how our team, developer guide team, give training and all. You can follow this link from this document. You will get idea like what kind of process we follow. Okay, so thanks everyone. So if you want to register for this course, then contact me on this number. Just try to do WhatsApp chat and WhatsApp call only. Thanks.